Well, hello everyone. I hope you're having a great day today. Welcome to Monday's edition of Take Five. Before we get started, let me just tell you about yesterday. We had a great day in the house of the Lord. Yesterday morning and then yesterday evening in discipleship, we're on God's prophetic timeline. Just had a great time there. It was also Pastor Appreciation Day yesterday, and I want to say thank you for all the cards and the gifts and the thoughts of appreciation. Thank you so much for all of that. It has been good to be able to be your pastor for 17 years. We started in 2006, April of 2006, and it's been good. It's been a joy. It's been a pleasure to serve God here and to serve you here for so long. Just excited about what God's going to do in the future as well. So now let's jump into this week's Take Five devotions. We are dealing with the message I started preaching yesterday. Really didn't know it was going to turn into a two-part, but it happens like that. We're dealing with the subject we've entitled A Reason to Hope. And in the midst of times that seem to be so bleak and so dark and so hopeless, we, as the people of God, we still have hope. There's never a time when we should be hopeless for the simple reason of Christ who lives in us. And as He directs our lives, He causes us to have hope in every circumstance of life. When you look at society right now and all that's going on in the world, everything kind of seems so bleak and dark and despairing and discouraging when you look at the condition that our country's in politically and economically. It's doesn't look real promising. When you look at what's happening around the world in the Ukraine and the uprising now in the Middle East with Hamas attacking Israel and all that's going there, when you see all of these things happening, it really doesn't look too bright. The future doesn't. But if you say that, then you're thinking about it from a worldly perspective instead of from a godly perspective. The believer in Jesus Christ absolutely has hope in every circumstance and situation, and the Bible proves this. And Peter says that we are supposed to be able to tell people why we have hope when the rest of the world does not. So let's read this text. I'm going to tell you the same thing that I told you yesterday in church. We're going to probably read this text several times. As a matter of fact, we may just read it every day this week because I really want this text to get in our heads. It says some very powerful things there and proves to us the reality that we really do have hope in the midst of these times. So I'll probably go ahead and say it. We're gonna probably read this text every day to start our devotion this week. So let's read it. 1 Peter 3, 12 through 15. For the eyes of the Lord are on the righteous. Now listen to this. Make sure you catch it. The eyes of the Lord are on the righteous. His ears are open to their prayers. But the face of the Lord is against those who do evil. And who is he who will harm you if you become followers of what is good? But even if you suffer for righteousness' sake, you are blessed. Man, I love that. And do not be afraid of their threats, nor be troubled. Now listen to this. But sanctify the Lord God in your heart, and always be ready to give a defense to everyone who asks you a reason for the hope that is in you with meekness and with fear. Be always ready to give an answer to everyone that asks you about this hope that's in you. Why do you have hope? Why are you so filled with joy? Why are you so certain about your future when everything looks so bleak and dark? Why do you have hope? And the answer is because Jesus lives in me and God is on our side. That's why we have hope. Now, what I have learned is we tend to use the word hope with a very passive voice. We'll say things like, I hope it doesn't rain tomorrow, or I hope we get off early today, or, I hope Walmart is not out of that thing that I like to buy, and all this kind of stuff. We just use it so passive. The doctors will come in and say, well, things are looking like they're going to work out. It looks like we can treat this. And we'll say things like this, well, I hope so. And you can even hear it in our voice. It's passive. There's no faith in it. But when you look at how the Bible uses the phrase or the term hope, it's a very powerful usage of it because when you look at the way the Bible uses it, you can't really separate the words hope and expectation and anticipation. They really all can interchange at just about any time. Expectation is to eagerly anticipate. Hope is to expect with confidence. And anticipate is to have excitement for something that you know is about to happen. So you really can't separate those three. They're all three interchangeable. So it should never be in doubt that we use the word hope. But when we use the word hope, it should always be in faith, with expectation, with anticipation, because hope is one of those things that says we know that something good is going to happen in our life. And the reason for this hope is because God is on our side. Well, hey, hang out with me this week. We're going to talk about this. We're going to break it down. We're going to read 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 12 through 15 over and over until we get it in our head. And we are going to know why we, the people of God, have hope when the rest of the world does not. Well, hey, it's been good being with you today. I look forward to being with you tomorrow on Tuesday's edition of Take 5. Until then, God bless you. Have a great day. And remember, friend, trust the Lord. He will never fail you.